roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
On May 2nd, Placencia comes alive, an evening of wine, music, and unforgettable moments on the beach at Naya Resort and Spa, featuring Marcus Johnson, Jay Cass, Chris Bradshaw, and special guest Goa Pele. Saturday, May 2nd, 7 to 11 p.m. live at Naya Resort and Spa, Finds in Paradise 2026. Don't miss it.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corzal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
These charter mints aren't from
We're
an
navigating
airplane.
along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Shireen Halsell, and
Here's what's ahead for you on 7 News tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your Nation Station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Muy buenos dias, beautiful Sunup on 7 family. It's a fiery Monday, and we thank you so much for your company while we had a great conversation with Jules on the Monday Morning Beef. Definitely, there's a lot for you to stay tuned on tonight's newscast. We have an interview with Courtney later on today to talk about what is the present situation at Tower Hill Bridge in Orange Walk District. But before we get into that, we have a great conversation waiting for you via Zoom with the Ambassador of the UN office in Geneva, His Excellency Dr. Harold Young, joining us. Dr. Young, good morning. It's a pleasure to have you on Sunup on 7 all the way from Geneva.
How you doing?
How are you doing over there?
Good morning, Sunup. Good morning, Belize. Happy to be here.
How is Geneva treating you so far?
Geneva has been treating me okay. The weather has improved, which makes a big difference for me. But generally, it's going well. Thanks.
Great.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
I know, and we're excited for this conversation because we want to hear all the updates on what's taking place with this multilateral day. Exactly for context for persons out there that are trying to grasp around the concept of what a multilateral day really means, the significance and so forth. Can we dive into that and then go on to what are the updates so we can have everybody on the same page?
So thank you for that question. Multilateralism is the practice of ensuring that all countries that are a party to a discussion or a forum or the assembly or participate in the activities and in making rules and laws and for the members. So every member is an equal party, and the way something is agreed to has to be by consensus. In other words, everybody has to agree. Mm-hmm. Now, the importance of this is that developing countries, small countries, either small countries physically or smaller countries economically, of which Belize is small economically and small physically, get to put their position, their opinions, their policy positions before the world, and we are counted and taken into account, and then we also have a vote that's equal to everybody else. So that's really the importance of multilateralism. And at this point, the day is particularly important now because of the situation the world is in and some of the challenges that we face on international affairs.
It sounds like this gives a great opportunity for Belize to share some concerns or situations they would like to see addressed, I guess, from a national point of view, but also what also tends to have an impact at a global level. Can you share with us what are some of the topics or discussions that we're going to be presenting at this multilateral day?
Well, multilateral day doesn't have any specific topics. It's actually just celebrating and sponsoring and encouraging and supporting the idea of multilateralism. But Belize participates on many levels here in Geneva. In the world affairs right now, it's really important that we're represented. So my job basically is to represent Belize, but maybe I could give you an idea of different levels of representation. So, I represent Belize at the UN. So there's a council meeting that talks about the very, very big issues. But then under that, there's a series of organizations and bodies that we participate in. So, for example, World Trade Organization, which was the one that had its very large conference in Yaoundé last month, that was very controversial, had some very big challenges, and we could talk about that separately. And then we have WHO, so World Health Organization, so we're a part of that here. And then you have the International Labour Organization, you have Intellectual Property Organization, you have Telecommunication Union, you have human rights. So there's a wide range of things. And then below those high levels, there are multiple committees that deal with all sorts of aspects of each one of those things. So, for example, just now I left a meeting on trade and environment, a small committee meeting on trade and environment to come to this. But there are lots and lots of meetings across the board that we need to be at the table, either myself at the ambassadorial level or the other importance of my being here is to plug Belize into the technical aspects. Many of the committees are very technical, so we can zoom in or participate virtually from Belize on a lot of the technical meetings. And this is important for a number of reasons, not just for us to give our positions and things and our opinions, but it helps us plug into technical assistance, opportunities, training, which enhances our capacity. And we have to enhance our capacity in multiple areas. there's opportunities for environment, there's agriculture, fishing, forestry, all across the economy.
Wow. Okay.
And then on agriculture, you have all the different areas, whether it's, well, we don't have cotton, but cotton, citrus, sugar, everything is covered. So for us, up with what's happening in the world, but also keep up to be able to deal with our neighbors. Belize has excellent trade and diplomatic relations with our neighbors, and we have what they call partial scope agreements, that we have special agreements with our neighbors. We need to be able to keep up technically human resource training, and also the frameworks, the legal frameworks. All these things are really important to build capacity in Belize to maximize the strengths of our economy, and also to build and work on the challenges that we have.
Most
Very
definitely.
well. Thank you so much for giving us that thorough overview of what are we discussing, what are some of the topics that we're contributing. Right there.
Yeah.
Ambassador, I'd love for you to explain to us, because I know some persons are listening to this and it might just go over their head. And when they're hearing all of these topics, it feels overwhelming. It's like, where do I pinpoint for the specific one that maybe, piques my interest to understand more? Where would someone go to get the proper updates? You mentioned that you were at a meeting just before this that was talking about environment and so, but where could someone go to kind of follow along, to see where conversations are flowing, to get engaged, to maybe read up on their own too, to understand, and maybe gather and have a position for themselves? Because I want to make the average Belizean be a lot more involved and not just feel like these are just meetings, discussions, and so forth that are taking place, that these are something that I can own also. So where would one go and how would they navigate that?
So that's a great question. And it's not, there's no easy answer for that, right? In the sense that the World Health Organization, all the big organizations I mentioned, they have websites that you can go on and follow what's going on. But for people who want to get a handle on things, let me give some two or three concrete examples. For example, if you're interested in fisheries, you can contact the fisheries department, and there is a whole project going on with fisheries, and they can then update you, help you to understand what they're doing. So it's probably easier to just go to an area of interest than trying to follow everything across the board.
Gotcha.
Another example would be the growing and really excellent developments that are happening in the cacao industry in the Toledo district. They are very high on the agenda for agriculture and for the international property organization, or the local branch, Belipo, to look at establishing our cacao product as a specific product to Belize. So we need to protect it, and there's a whole process you have to go through. So if you're interested in cacao, or interested in how do you get a product in Belize on this list of specific items that are tied to Belize, then that's the kind of thing you could do. If you're interested in livestock, for example, you go to Ministry of Agriculture, they have a whole section on livestock to deal with what's happening on the livestock industries and how that trade is going. What are the health conditions, the health requirements for exporting livestock? So I think that's probably a better approach to pick one or two areas that you're interested in, and then go to the specific departments or sections in Belize and ask questions, and they will be able to help. Because it's really a lot to cover, try to do it generally.
Very good. Thank you so much for that. Definitely, it's helpful for people that are interested in knowing what are discussions taking place and how to go at navigating to be able to access information, to bring it back here, absorb it, digest it, and share among their colleagues. Ambassador Young, we're also curious, how long is this multilateral day going to take place? What are some of the upcoming discussions that you're going to be partaking?
Well, multilateralism is alive and active all the time. So there's a day just to commemorate it, to focus on it, but it's going on all the time. So the subcommittee I just came from on trade and environment, there were, 25 or 30 countries just in that one meeting. And that's a lot of countries. And I've been to other meetings a lot of other meetings, like on trade, but with SMEs, for example, SMSEs, which Beltrade deals with. So if you're interested in financing and growth of small enterprises, you go to Beltrade and they will be able to help with that. So that has like 109 countries are involved in that.
Wow.
So so it's big. And these are all meetings outside of the General Assembly. So out to the General Assembly, right? So, and these go on all the time. There's a calendar of them. Every day there's something. So I have to prioritize what I do and go to the ones that are most influential, most important for Belize at the ambassadorial level. Make sure that the meetings that are necessary for our technical people, I can plug them in. We have a number of them coming up. And for example, let me give you a very concrete example. Last week, there was WTO had a training to do with customs and general agreement. So it's a very specific technical thing. And there was a representative for Belize who came here. Ray David Guerrero, from Ministry of Finance was here, and there were maybe 20 countries represented for a week certificate training. So, and it was paid for by that body. So this is the kind of thing that that I am here to promote and connect Belize with, and then also to support people when they come here. Like I supported Mr. Guerrero. I went to his certificate closing little ceremony they had to support him. And then coming up is World Health Organization. The World Health Assembly is coming up. So people will come in from the ministry to participate in that. And one of the things, if somebody needs something really to hold on to, you make a good point. What is it that Belizeans can look for that's concrete? Well, part of that is looking at pandemics and how we manage pandemics. And coming out of COVID, that's really important, right?
Yeah.
So now we have a whole regime that Belize needs to participate in to keep up with all the developments, all the crisis management protocols that are being put in, all the availability for equipment or for, whether it's gloves or mask, whatever you need. So where those things will be, we need to be on top of that. And so part of my job is to make sure that at the ambassador level, Belize is plugged in, but also translate, and plug in the technical levels to make sure that things are functioning more smoothly.
Wow, that's impressive. And I'm hearing you giving us an overview again of what's taking place there, and I can't help to smile because you're there for a short time so far. You've definitely hit the runway like running, hearing that all the spaces where you're plugging in and supporting Belizeans that are going over there to interact in these different spaces. As we start wrapping up this conversation, Dr. Young, there's a question that we would like to ask us in regards to what are some of the present conversations taking place at the international landscape as in regards to the current situation with the war that's taking place, especially as regards to the fuel cost. Presently in Belize, there's protests taking place in regards to the high cost of fuel,
blockages,
and
all
that's
kind
how
of
that's
things taking
affecting
place.
the daily lives of Belizeans. What are some of the insights, if you can give us any, on the conversations regarding this global increase in fuel prices?
Well, you know me, and you know that I don't usually mince words, but I am a diplomat now, and I'm representing Belize, and so I have to be careful. I have to choose my words carefully. But there is a general frustration with the situation and general pain that's going on. And I have spoken to many of my colleagues, and I asked them that specific question. Yes, we hear these things, Strait of Hormuz, and what's going on. But then I always ask them, what has happened in your country as far as fuel prices?
Right.
And every single country that I've spoken to, and I ask the countries developing countries, because they're the ones that share the sort of environment and pain that we feel in Belize. I mean, it's not so important to ask Switzerland, right? So we ask the Caribbean countries and the Central American countries, and all of them, they're reflecting increases in gas prices. They're increasing. I mean, there are definitely specific increases in transportation costs with buses. I know I spoke to the people from the Bahamas, and they're saying that has already happened there. So Belize is not in a unique position.
Okay.
And the managing of these prices, we have very little resilience in Belize, unfortunately, and developing countries have very little resilience when it comes to that to monitor it. And as you know, one of the things the government can do is amend or ease the taxes, right, to keep the prices down. What other countries that have a lot of money do, or richer countries do, is that they use their oil reserves or their gas reserves to put into the system to keep the price down. But we don't have that. I mean, Belize is 440,000 people, and having reserves would be, I mean, I can't even quantify how much it would cost us to do it and maintain it. So it's not something practical for small countries and small economies like Belize. But the pain is being felt. I feel it here. The environment is very, I don't want to say subdued, but very cautious about what's happening here, and very aware of the pain that's going on. And I'm very aware of all the pain that's going on in a lot of the other countries. And we talk about it, but it's difficult to generalize when it comes to all the countries. So I try to focus on countries that are similar to Belize, that they have some of the same problems. And it's definitely there. We are not a unique position. I want to say something about this, this idea generally, right, that we face challenges. And I am learning. I went to Yaoundé, which is in Cameroon, the other day, and I can assure you, I assure Belizeans that Belize is not the worst at anything. There is nothing, by no metric, is Belize the worst at. And there's no such thing as only in Belize. Nothing like that exists.
I know.
We are very hard on ourselves. And I don't say that I'm not saying that. Let me be very clear. I'm not saying that we must minimize the challenges we face.
Okay.
I'm saying that to encourage us to tackle the challenges, because they can be tackled. If we're the worst at something, if we think we're the worst at something, that is very difficult to psychologically overcome. How do you overcome being the worst at something in the world? That's a huge mountain, right?
Definitely.
We're not the worst. We're not the worst. And I'm more confident of that than I've ever been. Now that I've been over here, I've been exposed to many other countries and talking to so many representatives over here.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that insight, you know, for that point of reflection, because definitely we are...
People look at their circumstances and obviously they'll say, only in Belize, this happens only for us, and we have to understand the wider scope of things. That there's more. And this is why it's so important.
Tackle the problem. I implore, we must tackle the problems, right?
Definitely.
We must tackle the challenges. And I'll say one more thing. I'll say another thing, and then you can ask me a question if you want, if we have time. But there is a tendency to interpret interaction between, say, the government and unions or social organizations as being a sign of something bad. It is not a sign of something bad. Those interactions are what democracy is all about.
Definitely, yeah.
100%.
And there are many countries where those interactions cannot occur the way they happen in Belize.
Yeah. No, 100%. And this is why you see best practices is such an important thing for countries to be sharing, because many times we have some of the same plights, but what works for you doesn't necessarily work for me. But I can take a stance from what you have and tweak it into the context of Belize. So this is why it's really good for us to go to meetings like this, hear from other persons, look at different studies, research data, so that we can be able to come to better solutions that will benefit Belize and the context that we have.
That is true. Dr. Young, we thank you so much for taking the time today to give us an overview of what's taking place in Multilateral Day. And giving us an insight into the discussions that have been taking place. We look forward to a future conversation with you. You're always invited.
And I hope you read my book. I hope you read the book.
We're on it. It's
I'm
a
taking
very
shameless
it's a very
plug.
lengthy book, but it's a very great one, I have to say. Yeah, we look forward to a future conversation with you to always keep us posted on what are the negotiations and conversations taking place at the UN level in Geneva. We wish you.
I'll be happy to. I'll be happy to.
Thank you so much.
And I promise to continue doing my best
Yes.
for Belize.
Yes.
And we expect that because we know who you are and what you stand for. So most definitely, thank you so much, Ambassador. And with that, we're gonna go to some interviews, guys. We were talking before on the beef about, you know, what's taking place with the blockages up north. We have to report to you that there are 2 interviews that we have here on the grounds. Courtney Menzies is on, and we have an interview with a
commuter and with Mr. Michael Fraser.
Michael
We're going to
Fraser,
cue in
yes.
those interviews, and then we're going to go into commercial break.
Can I get your full name, please?
My name is Michael Fraser.
Tell us what's happening out here today.
Well, what happened? We have been lobbying with the government of Belize reduction of price in the fuel, and we reached certain agreement when it comes to the prices charged on the bus. But when you look at it, it's gonna be affecting the customers. So we went back to the table, and we are yet negotiating for a reduction of price. The price of fuel now, you can call it $16 a gallon. And when you work that out, we will never ever be able to continue our running. And we had a meeting yesterday. The message was sent to the Deputy Prime Minister. What was our intention today? And up to this time, we haven't gotten any answer. The President is in Belize, and they are saying that the Prime Minister called him and is willing to give a reduction of $3 on the gallon. We work out our math, and majority of the members, they don't want to go no less than $10.
Wow. You really think the government will give you guys that?
Well, if they cannot bear that burden, then we're gonna continue out here.
Tell us how we got to this point, because what over the events that transpired over the weekend, we know they had the press conference, and then you guys, they agreed to the fuel subsidy, but then your president was there along with the minister shaking hands and whatnot. How did it break down, get to this point after that?
Well, when you talk about president shaking hands, it's like attorney drinking whiskey, you know. So what I want to say is that when you think about the fuel subsidy, it's not gonna really work out if we do not get that reduction, because most of us would make maybe 500 and add round trip. Then we have wear and tear, we have conductors to pay, drivers to pay, and it's very, very, we are on the real loss. I have one of my members that, man, at the end of the week, she was $700 negative, you know, and we've been trying our best to avoid all this. I am fully aware, and they are aware, that millions of dollars will be lost today. Now, to tell you the truth, we know that our commuters need much better. We are trying, we have made big investment, but Mr. Zabani, who is the Minister of Transport, went ahead and formed the NBC, National Bus Company. That is what is happening there. It is separating us, because we were made to understand that at this present moment, he is lobbying with government to get a $6.5 million to help that bus company. Man, if the government can do that, then they can do it for us too.
So now this is happening in the north. Are you guys going to expand this strike? Will we see strikes in the west as well?
Well, what had happened, we do not have any control over the south. Most of those people, if not all, has sold out to the NBC. In the west, the same. So we don't think anything is happening up there. It's basically in the north.
What would you say to commuters loyal commuters who rely on you guys every day?
I am very sorry. We are very sorry. We are fighting for you.
With the bus increase, when the fares increase, what was the issue that you all had with the increases? Because you asked for the increase, you got it, but then that never enough.
Well, if you should have seen the breakdown, then you would have known. What had happened, we went through it in Belmopan last Thursday, and We gave them the price we were charging, and we also gave them our proposal. For example, in Orange Walk, we propose maybe $8, $9 or things like that if it's calculated. We even promised these people that the full price would not have been charged, even though they are giving us that. But when we got back the result, most of them took off $1.50, basically nothing that we have been discussed. You know,
How long are you guys planning to be out here this morning?
I cannot answer that question directly, but if the Prime Minister is interested, all we are asking to give us a call, promising us that or to come here with us, negotiate with us, and once they can negotiate with us, then we can understand and we move immediately.
How many members you have up here in North? How many buses out here?
Well, we have apparently 28 bus operators in the north, and this is 30 bus operators, and still this is not all, not counting in the villages.
And do we understand that, if no agreement is made today or no compromise is made, would you guys be out here tomorrow again?
Well, I think the members agreed to come out here until we get what we want.
Are you guys willing to stay here throughout the rest of the day, the whole night?
Well, we have enough money for food, so we were gonna stay.
Heard that. Thank you. Please tell me which bus van you have.
My bus company is Limited Bus Service.
Limited. Okay, good. Thank you.
They want to see me, but my son, he do relax this morning with me.
So you were on your way back to the city to catch a boat?
Yes, and Pedro, yes. I mean, want to go to the plane, but they tell me the same thing. I don't understand.
Do you understand what's happening out here today? Or why the buses are striking? Oh, you just get caught in the middle?
Yes, nothing.
Okay.
I don't know why they do this. I don't know.
What do you think of the increase in bus fares?
Well, I think everybody needs to pay the back. It is $1, everybody needs to pay the back.
Yeah, man.
Us, the consumers. Sir, were you guys commuters?
Yes.
So you don't mind pay a higher bus price?
No.
Okay. So how are you going to get back to the city now?
I pay to the bus. You say a next bus here. You need to walk long, but I need to go in my house. Today, I find San Pedro. Here's my family. In San Pedro. I am Miss San Pedro and my granddaughter. She's working in town council.
Okay.
Just in Bolivia.
Alright.
She called me, Mom, come back.
So what time boat you're planning to catch now?
Maybe 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock, 2:30, express. I don't pay my ship.
Okay. Alright, good. Thank you, Messi.
Thanks, Mommy. Take care, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Sir, were you guys surprised by the strike this morning?
Of course, yes, we were surprised by it, but at the same time, we have been in discussions almost through the course of the night, discussing our complaint in the event that it would have occurred. So while yes, we're surprised, we're prepared for it.
So what's the plan now?
Well, you have heard the minister interview, and we are here to see if cooler heads is going to prevail. We would hope that the bus operators would bring reason to the table and clear the road and negotiate from there. I think in the interview of the president of the PBO, he had said that the Prime Minister will be making an announcement today, and he wants to meet with the Prime Minister. So then why not wait until the Prime Minister announcement and meet with the PM before do something like this? I think that like doing this before such a meeting is not happening good here.
They're saying they want a $10 fuel subsidy. Is that something the government is willing to give?
That is something the Prime Minister is going to have to answer. I am not in a position to answer, but the government is prepared to offer them an answer.
So now, will you guys will wait for the announcement and then meet with them?
Well, we will see when that time comes, whether or not the Prime Minister will meet with them and who the Prime Minister will have with him when he sits and down with them.
Are you planning to go over them to talk to them right now?
I don't intend to have any discussion with them. I am here to observe and see what the state is and report back to my minister to see what we can do.
So the NBC bus is already here?
Of course, again, we do understand that there are a number of persons who need to traverse between the north and the city of Belize, or Belize City. And so in contemplation that they would have strike this morning, we have put NBC buses in place to be able to follow the gap. that will be left by these operators who chose not to run today. So again, just to inform the Belizean people that the NBC is operating in the area at this time, making sure that we are able to move commuters between the north and the Belize and even the
Can you guys keep it up for the rest of the week if so happens that they decide that they'll keep it going?
Of course, the NBC do have buses that are able to continue movements between the north and the Belize in the event that the operators choose to prolong this issue. I would hope that we don't have to come to that. And I really and truly want to dispel the notion to say that the government is giving preferential treatment to NBC. NBC is a company operating on its own. It is managed by a board of directors and a CEO. The minister's sole purpose at this time of NBC is to see to its full implementation. But in terms of looking at the operations of NBC, it is not the function of the ministry to do that. And that's the reason why you see that whenever I'm asked a question about NBC, I would say that I'm not in a position to answer this question. I'm not a part of the board of directors. I'm not the CEO of NBC. So just to make that clear, that the government is not offering no preferential treatment to NBC over the operators.
How long are you planning to be out here?
I'm not sure as yet how long I'll be out here, but just want to make sure that we monitor things and do whatever documentation we need to do in terms of the buses that are blocking the road, and then we see how it goes.
What are your concerns? Earlier we saw an ambulance had to maneuver through, so people's lives are at risk apart from their jobs.
Well, it surprised me to see that the BDA have said on numerous occasions that they are concerned about the commuters, but yet they do things that put the commuters at peril. Not just those persons who travel the road with them daily to and from work, but also persons who may need to go to the city, or people on the list who might need to come to the north, or maybe even to Pan from Olimpa. You are basically inconveniencing these people, right? And for the most part, those persons who have to go to work and are unable to go to work today, some of those people are going to lose their day pay, right? Had they not had an alternative like what NBC is doing now to get them to work. So had it not been for NBC stepping in, you would have had situations where people losing income because of the actions of the BDA who claims that there's so much concern about the welfare of people.
Finally, are you hearing reports of blockages anywhere else?
We have heard of blockages at the Boom Junction, but that is currently detailed at this time. I am grateful for the presence of police working along with us, making sure that the highways are patrolled. So we have highway patrol on every highway, even the Southern Highway and the Humber Highway, making sure that we are able to monitor the highways. Again, to try as best as we can to avoid any blockages, or if we should encounter any that we encountered at a time where we can take before it becomes too difficult to clear. So we will do as best as we can along with the police to make sure that we keep our highways as clear as possible.
Thank you, sir.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
On May 2nd, Placencia comes alive, an evening of wine, music, and unforgettable moments on the beach at Naya Resort and Spa, featuring Marcus Johnson, Jay Cass, Chris Bradshaw, and special guest Goa Pele, Saturday, May 2nd, 7 to 11 p.m. live at Naya Resort and Spa, Finds in Paradise 2026. Don't miss it.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
These charter means aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Shiri Kalsil,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Nadir Craft.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your Nation Station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Good morning, Sun Up on 7 family. Welcome back to your Monday episode. What a Monday episode it's been. And definitely thank you so much for staying tuned to the different conversations we brought forward today. We want to one last segment. And joining us on our couch, we have Fernando Santos, Marketing Officer of Cellular World, talking about their new partnership with Motorola and their upcoming deals at Agric this weekend. Before we get into that, Fernando, how is your energy today?
Excellent. Very high because we're coming right close to Agric again, one of our favorite times of the year. And definitely starting with a hot week, but really, really excited for the things that are now to come, as you mentioned, with our new Motorola partnership that we've been wanting to share for a long, long time. And of course, the deals that are coming for Agric this year.
What does the partnership with Motorola mean for your Belizean customers?
Well, Motorola has been a brand that for a while has kind of been lost to the really loyal fans because it has been difficult to find it with the latest models, with the latest technology, and you have been able to see them in other countries around Belize. So we thought it was only fair that now Belizeans get access to the latest models of Motorola with the new lifestyle that it brings together and the new accessories that are now available because on social media you can see that Motorola partners with the Lenovo to be an official World Cup partner, that they have partnership with Formula One, that they have all of these new lifestyle that we haven't been able to see yet, but now it's possible because with Cellular World, we have been working tirelessly to bring more brands officially into Belize. So this means that we'll get them always at the best price with the latest models, not needing to wait months until they come here. Sometimes we get them first than many other countries in the region.
Wow.
Because we ensure that we got the latest technology always.
And so people can get updated and stay in tune with everything that's taking place. And of course, being and having this partnership allows them to know that they're getting quality, that it's authorized for Belize, that it's not any kind of hanky-panky, spanky-wanky kind of thing.
Have access to the latest models too.
Yeah, and I think that really makes people feel a lot more comfortable, more satisfied with the product that they're going to be getting. So starting now, today, people can go in or message in on the virtual store and be able to get their Motorola devices.
That's right. At all of our 6 locations, Belize City, we have our 3 main locations, Queen Street, Albert Street, and the Northern Shops. Also, people who are now looking for something to do today in Orange Walk, then they can go to our Cellular World store and start getting your Motorola devices at the best price, of course. And from San Pedro and Belmopan, we already have our Motorola devices, starting with the Moto G07, and also online, as you mentioned, at Facebook, WhatsApp at 615-5141, and on Instagram, you can start getting all of the latest devices from Motorola, which not only bring great features because the devices are really, really great, but also Motorola has been working tirelessly to get a really particular style that it's different from anything else. So it's really another world when it comes to Motorola and the ecosystem that it makes.
I love that.
Exciting.
And now let's move to talk about what are some of the deals people can expect this weekend.
Agric is this weekend already.
Exactly. Yes, and throughout the past couple of weeks, we have seen a lot of prices rising on everything. But that doesn't mean that technology has to become inaccessible, because now we have our Agric deals coming just around the corner. We'll have the best prices of the year, because that's what we ensure. That's our promise for Agric every year. Everything that you want on technology will be at the best price on Agric. So we'll be from starting this Friday, which is kind of unusual, but we're going to be there from Friday with our main booth and our secondary booth, so everybody gets a chance to visit us. If you're looking for a new laptop, we're starting them at $579.
Okay.
Which is lower than last year, because last year we had them at $599. This year we have models starting at $579 on laptops. JBL headphones starting at only $39 with 1-year warranty. If you want a new console, we have them starting at $719. And we have anything from business solutions. If people have been wanting to get new equipment for their office, let's say a new PC, a new high-capacity printer, office chairs. We have office chairs starting right now at only $179. These ones usually begin at $199.
Okay.
And just for Agric, the 3 days that we're going to have on the showgrounds and in-store, we're going to have office chairs starting at $179. Of course, you know that after Agric, we have Mother's Month, but after that, we have the World Cup.
Okay.
So we are going to have...
There's definitely things to look forward to.
Exactly. We have the best deals on TVs right now. If you're looking for a new Samsung, we just brought the biggest TV screens that I've seen on the stores, 98 inches. We're going to be bringing them to Agric as well.
My gosh.
So the biggest size used to be 85. Now we're bringing 98 inches, and they're going to be at the best price for these 3 days during Agric.
Oh, yeah. What is really good to see is that people are going to be able to get incredible deals for the different technology they're going to be producing, but they're also going to be able to access warranty on these devices also, which I feel is also comforting, for your clients.
Exactly. So as you mentioned, we have always 1-year warranty on everything that's Samsung. If you're looking to get a new cell phone device, a new headphone, new TV and appliances, those that are bigger investments need to be supported by a 1-year warranty, which only Cellular World can offer as an authorized distributor of Samsung, but also on JBL, on Dell, and now something that I hadn't mentioned, but Motorola. Anything that's Motorola with Cellular World also has 1-year warranty.
Amazing.
Starting from today. Any device that you get from Cellular World that's Motorola now has 1-year warranty. You can have the comfort of knowing that you're purchasing them at the right location when you visit Cellular World, which is the carrier for all of the main brands in technology that you want to get.
So today is a good day for a lot of persons, not for everyone, but for persons that want to get amazing Motorola devices. They know that Cellular World is going to be hooking them up properly. They know also this weekend there's amazing discounts for all the things that you've mentioned before. I'm sure these flyers are available on the Facebook page for people to get all the information and get ready and get excited.
Correct, that's right. So I do invite everybody to follow us on our social media, because now we're accessing the latest content from Motorola as well. So if anybody starts getting their devices, there are many, many tips and hacks that you can get with this amazing technology to make the most out of your purchase.
Very well. Bernard, we thank you so much for joining us today on Sunup on 7 to give us an insight into this new partnership with Motorola and what are some of the deals that people can find this coming weekend at Agric. Again, we want to remind our viewers to go to your social media platforms to know what are the deals that you're going to be having this weekend. Start eye shopping already.
Yes.
Put your budget and show up to Agric this weekend to
Come when your money ready.
those deals.
You guys know where is your booth gonna be again?
So we have our main booth, which is next to DG on the main entrance of the showgrounds.
Okay.
And we also have our secondary booth on the main street there in front of the police booth, so that people don't have to cramp on only one, because we know that those days can be very, very busy. So we make sure to give you more options to get sufficient time to decide on what you want to get. But we are going to make sure to get the best deals these 3 days, starting on Friday and continuing all the way to Sunday, in store and on the showgrounds, so you can get the latest technology at the best price.
Okay. So get excited, get ready, tune in to the World's Facebook page and come prepared this weekend for Agric. Guys, as we're wrapping up the show, we want to let you know, because we know there's a large portion of the show dedicated towards what's happening up north and the blockages and everything taking place. We would like to understand that at this point, they have come to an agreement. This is between government and the Belize Bus Association. We don't have details of the full agreement as yet. However, we are letting you know that between the entire time from 4:30 of the blockage to now reporting at 8:30, they have come. Jeez Louise, they have come to an agreement. We're not sure. We'll definitely be reporting to you either throughout the day here or tonight's newscast. Of course, there's going to be a whole synopsis of everything. So stay tuned for all of that. We've come to the ending of the show. Thank you for everybody that's been tuned in, putting in their comments and all that great stuff. We want to thank, of course, our two guests that were able to share space with us. And this is, of course, Ambassador Dr. Harold Young. That's the Ambassador of the UN office in Geneva. He was talking about all the different multilateral conversations they've been having, and, of course, how he's working so hard to make sure Belize is represented properly in technical areas and overall areas. And, of course, loving to have Fernando on, as always, to talk about what Solar is doing. The big deal of now being partners with Motorola and being able to have a 1-year warranty with them. Also, they're going to be out at Agric with amazing deals for you guys. You can start today, actually, to go into the stores and see all the great devices that they're having and get yourself prepared for the savings and the discounts that are going to be taking place at Agric. And so with that, we send you off on your Montablos Monday. And remember to stay tuned to news tonight.
So the agreement, so we can quickly share that the agreement that was reached on today is that there's going to be a $3 subsidy on the fuel and $1 on the fares. Again, we're going to digest this more during tonight's newscast, so definitely you're welcome to tune in this evening to our news.
Yeah, so that's a repetition of $3 subsidy and $1 on fares. The more nitty-gritty of it is going to be fleshed out tonight's news, so stay tuned for all of that.
Yeah, and to everybody out there, please be safe. And if you don't have to commute today, I mean, with this new agreement, the blockade is going to be removed. Definitely, if you do not have to commute
the time
today,
that you get to get the job.
Please, do your best to stay safe. We thank you so much for tuning in on this Monday episode. Again, it's a fiery Monday. What a great start of the
Kevin's
week,
loving it too, by the way, guys. He's like, this is like election watch all over again. He's like, what else is coming? What else is coming? Serve me up another storm. I'm ready.
Yes, we're definitely ready for this. But definitely, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great, great Monday. All the best on your final week in April.
Yes, final week in April. We're going to get into May, Agric, all these things happening. Stay tuned for it all. Tomorrow, join Brandon and myself back here on the scene. What's going to be the updates? We don't know. We're going to see.
Stay tuned. Bye, folks.
Bye.
Love you.
A place to call your home, a place where you can grow. Stand by me and we'll take flight. We'll be there at morning's light. I've got you covered on all concerns we share today. You will discover how the world turns each day. When the sun comes up